Tree House by the Lake by H2 in Vietnam. More than 70 years have passed, and I still vividly remember that day. Every summer, it was hot. Our children would gather under the canopy of an old tree and then set up a small tent together. We call it a house to avoid the sun and to have fun. Some cut down trees, others cut leaves to set up tents and decorate them so that they were beautiful and eye-catching. After completing the house, we went to find things to settle down in that leaf hut. The leaf hut was our childhood and the place where we could experience interesting games and listen to music. Stories that still feel like it all happened yesterday. The simple game of the hut raised our little souls in the poor countryside that day. That's the story the elderly family man took the time to share with us during our first visit to the project. He wishes that his grandchildren grow up and experience a wonderful childhood like he had before. From that desire, Tree House by the Lake was formed under the trees of a perennial conch forest with beautiful water and scenery in peaceful countryside. The work is completed by us mostly with local scrap materials with the desire to reduce costs as well as impact the existing landscape and nature. As you know, in order for us humans to have a comfortable and developed life like today, we also have to trade a lot from the things closest to us such as nature and the living environment, then the health and community cohesion. Understanding that, he wishes to bring experience, connection, fun, and learning to his dear grandchildren under the perennial conch trees, so that they can grow up in the love of nature and the envelopment of nature and plants. Because of those desires, in the project survey process, we want to keep the inherent peacefulness of this countryside. It's not a massive building made from reinforced concrete, but instead a building in harmony with nature. From there, we find old materials, also known as a scrap, which are dismantled from old works that we ask for or buy cheaply from around the construction site, with the expectation that when the building process won't make too much of an impact on the existing context. Scrap is the name of an expired material that is collected for recycling as smelted to create another product, or simply thrown into the environment. No matter what the plan is, it will affect the environment and people. So instead of emitting them into the environment, they have been revived in a way that has the least impact on the environment, reusing them while they are still useful. The building blends with nature from the use of materials to architectural solutions. Open space helps people get close to nature, nature close to people, and people close to people. With trees, water surface, and the story about the house of the childhood hut of the grandfather, we think of a house that relies on the nature of trees, welcoming the cool breezes from the lake, and enjoying the peace of the countryside. True to the name, Tree House by the Lake, the project was brought up from the ground by us, relying on the big mother-of-pearl trees, from the use of old scrap materials to make the building look like this. Been there for a long time. With the desire that the project does not affect the landscape and nature of the forest, it also recreates the story of the hut of the grandfather who wants to give to his grandchildren. The building has a rustic, idyllic appearance of old materials, along with the interior, and everything in the house is very simple and light, to make room for sunlight, wind, and trees to play. From the day they lived in the new house, the children showed great interest. They were like fish in the water, and they seemed to have the opportunity to arouse the instinct to explore, learn, play, inherent in themselves. They can freely run, jump, climb, or even lie down, crawl, and wall according to their liking.